Do you feel like you've been stuck in an abusive, maybe psychologically or physically destructive marriage with a narcissist, and you're thinking of leaving, but you don't know how? It can be tricky, especially when you're married to someone who is like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. To the outside world, they present as humble, winsome, likable, lovable, charismatic, saintly, pious. But behind closed doors, they are a tyrant. And if you were to talk about what's really going on, people would find it hard to believe that someone they perceive as so nice is actually so abusive and destructive. How do you leave an abusive narcissistic spouse? In this video, I'm going to share some tips with you to help you plan your exit. I also have some important news to share at the end of the video, so stick around for the whole video. Now first, before we get into it, for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. I'm Shaneen Megji. I'm a coach that helps people to heal and recover their identities from toxic relationships. I also help people to successfully navigate difficult life transitions. Welcome to my channel on Toxicity is Not Your Destiny. I create these videos to help you navigate toxic relationships in your life from a biblical, practical, and spiritual perspective. So if you'd like to receive regular content from me on this subject, take a moment, click that subscribe button, click that bell, because I'm going to be putting videos out on a regular basis to empower you in navigating toxic relationships in your life. My goal is to get out a video every week or so. It's been a little bit longer recently, but I am hoping to get back on track soon with every week. So without further ado, let's dive into the subject. Now, I'd like to preamble this video by saying that what I'm about to share is not the way to deal with most relationships. If you are in a difficult relationship, definitely what I'm about to share is not what I would advise people to do. People should work on their issues and deal with them and find ways to work through them and communicate in relationships. So I want to be clear that what I'm sharing in this video is not a model for how to deal with most difficult relationships or other relationships. In this video, I'm talking about a very unique dynamic in a relationship. This is with an abusive narcissist, someone who is chronically entitled, arrogant, condescending, exploitative of people, contemptuous, manipulative, deceptive, high conflict, lacking in empathy. These people don't have self-awareness, and they do not self-reflect, and they do not take responsibility. They have a very fragile ego and cannot take criticism or being challenged or questioned. These people have an aversion to anything that smells like being shamed or blamed. So in their defense, they blame shift to deflect, they project, they deny, they gaslight, and this has been the pattern of your relationship for a long time. Narcissists often manipulate their victims by exploiting their weaknesses and insecurities. As I mentioned, they may use gaslighting, guilt tripping, and emotional blackmail to control their partner. You may have experienced that. Some common signs of narcissistic abuse include constant criticism and blame, belittling and demeaning behavior, isolation from friends and family, extreme jealousy and possessiveness, controlling behavior, emotional manipulation and guilt tripping, gaslighting, or making you doubt about your own perception of reality. And as I mentioned, you may be with somebody who looks great in public, but behind closed doors, it's a different story. The dynamics I described are ones you have been living with for a long time, and you've likely tried everything to try to fix the relationship, but to even broach any difficult subject or to challenge the person can cause massive conflict and war in your home, because you're dealing with somebody who will take any challenge as a form of hostility against them. So if that is you, this video is for you. I also want to preamble this video by acknowledging that your nature may be very much to be open and to be honest. You are likely an empathetic, caring person who seeks to be honest, who seeks to do the right thing. And even to hear what I'm about to share in this video may be difficult for you to swallow because it may feel dishonest, it may feel deceptive and secretive, and that's not who you are by nature. But I want to encourage you that the narcissistic abuser in your life left you no choice but to resort to this because they did not create a safe environment for you to be free, to be honest and genuine and authentic. You were forbidden from being any of those things, lest it would trigger in them their narcissistic rage. So you've had to tiptoe and walk on eggshells a lot. So because of the unsafe context that you find yourself in now, you have no choice but to take these measures I'm about to share in order for you to be safe and to recover your identity and to get out of bondage, out of something God never set up for you to be living in. Whatever bondage this is not God's heart for you. I want you to know that. This is the work of the devil because his plans are always to steal, to kill, and to destroy. So when you're under somebody who is not behaving like Jesus Christ, who is destructive, as I mentioned earlier, then this video is for you on how to prepare an exit for that type of personality. So I hope that is clear. So a narcissist is extremely sensitive to any fluctuation or change of your energy or attitude towards them. They can pick it up. They can smell it a mile away. They are so sensitive to these things. Narcissists have such a primal fear of abandonment that they are always smelling for it, always smelling to see if anything is off in that area. And so to plan to leave can cause all kinds of rage to be unleashed. You don't want to wake up a sleeping giant. And I guess this is how it is with a narcissist. It's a lot like the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, where a young man named Jack had to climb a beanstalk and he found himself in the presence of a sleeping giant and he had to get away and had to tiptoe around the sleeping giant so as to not wake him up. And that's really how you need to plan an exit with a narcissist. It is about treading very softly and quietly and gently in your plan to leave. So what does that look like? Practically speaking, it means that you don't let on that you're thinking of leaving or planning on leaving. You carry on life as best as you can and as normally as you can, as if there's nothing wrong. And that will take a special grace from God. You want to give the abuser this confidence that they have the upper hand and that they know exactly where you're at. You don't want to do anything to stir the boat or throw things off balance. Now, you might find this hard to do because, again, it's not in your nature to be deceptive or to keep secrets, and leaving this way does not mean that you are deceptive. It's, as I mentioned, the abuser created an environment all this time where it was never safe for you to be honest, without your honesty creating conflict or war. So you have no choice but to plan a departure this way because it could be very dangerous for you otherwise. And the goal for you is to be safe. You may be married to a wolf in sheep's clothing, and these types of people are not wired like everyone else, so they need to be approached very differently than most people. Now, to ease your mind about leaving or ghosting your abuser this way, I want to give you some examples in Scripture of people who loved God, who sought to live honorable lives, and who ghosted a toxic person. And this was perfectly acceptable to God. The first example is King David. He ghosted his father-in-law, King Saul. When King David discovered that his father-in-law was unsafe and bent on killing him, King David made an exit plan with his closest friend Jonathan, King Saul's son, and David secretly disappeared. The second example was Jacob. He also ghosted his father-in-law Laban. Now, Laban was an extremely shrewd, exploitative, and manipulative man. You can read it in the Bible. And Jacob was afraid of what Laban might do to him if he told him he was leaving. So Jacob fled with his family in the middle of the night. And when Laban realized what was going on and began to pursue Jacob, God intervened by protecting Jacob and his family by warning Laban against doing any harm to him in a dream. Now, the third example is the three wise men who ghosted King Herod. When the three wise men were going to see baby Jesus in the stable after he was born, King Herod told them, "Go search for the child, and as soon as you find him, let me know so that I can go and worship him also." But after the wise men found Jesus, the Bible says that they were warned in a dream not to go back to Herod. So they returned to their country by another route. In all these cases, good and upright people had to flee and ghost someone who was dangerous, abusive, and destructive. And sometimes that is God's plan for you to exit a relationship with an abusive, narcissistic person. So with all that being said and all these preambles, here are some practical things you can do to prepare for your exit. Number one, do not share any information about your plans with your abuser or anyone who may leak it to them. Number two, start talking to a lawyer and get legal advice right away. And don't just talk to any lawyer, but please talk to someone who understands narcissistic personality disorder or high conflict manipulative personalities. The lawyer must understand these types of personalities because of a narcissist's propensity for splitting, where they view everything in black or white. A narcissist can easily turn adversarial on a whole other level and really bring their covert manipulative schemes into court. Number 3, document evidence of abuse. Document any incidents of abuse, including physical, emotional, or verbal abuse. Keep a record of dates, times, and details of the incidents if you can. Take photos of any injuries or damages caused by the abuser. Number 4, get your finances in order. Make copies of all your financial documents, such as bank statements, tax returns, and property deeds. Open a separate bank account or credit card in your name only. And it's a good idea to put away money every chance you can get into your bank account in a discreet way, because everything adds up. And if you do this over time, it will certainly come in handy when you need money to live off of when you get out. Now, you may feel that there are way too many complications to leave now. You may be in that boat, though you wish you could leave. Maybe you have children who are not yet adults, or children who are living at home or who are in school, and you don't want to disrupt their lives. And that is fair. Your abuse may have been going on for years and years. And so if you have the grace for it and you are not in danger, then perhaps you can be planning your exit in the next year or 2 years. Maybe you just have a longer runway to plan for it. And maybe that's how long it will take for a son or daughter to be an adult or graduate or get certain ducks in a row. Certainly in that amount of time, you can focus on upgrading your skills or looking for ways to become financially independent from your spouse. That would be a big thing. Now, if you are thinking to have a longer runway to leave, I would suggest you still have a backup plan in case things get ugly or dangerous. Keep a suitcase with your important documents and essentials in the trunk of your car, or with a close friend, or somewhere discreet where it can't be found, but it's easily accessible to you. And that is in case the abuse intensifies and you are in danger and you need to leave right away. Number 5, look for a community or a support group to help you through this process. Have some trusted friends and family members who know exactly what is going on and who can support you. Don't plan your exit all by yourself. Make sure you have safe and supportive people who have your back before you exit. And you can be asking these people to be praying for you. Maybe you can stay with them as a landing pad before getting your own place when you leave. I think there is definitely an advantage to stay with friends or family at the beginning, because a departure like this can take a real emotional toll. And it can be helpful and healing to have friends and family around you and where you're not alone. Number 6, if you have assets or properties, make sure you have the legal deeds. Make sure you take screenshots of shared accounts and the balances in the accounts, because a narcissist is likely to move money around. So make sure you have records of all these things beforehand if you're able. Number 7, obtain all your important documents like passports, birth certificates, legal papers, all that stuff. Number 8, change all your passwords on your accounts like email, social media, Google accounts, Amazon. Make sure that there are other people in your community that know what's going on. Make sure you plan your exit at a time when the abuser is not there and they have no idea. I know I mentioned this earlier. And so that you can leave while they're gone and you don't have to face a nasty confrontation. Narcissistic abusers can become violent when confronted with abandonment, so you must have a safety plan in place. It is better for you to deal with a divorce or separation from a safe and protected place, even if it means you have to go to a shelter or someplace like that where you can be safe, because you have no idea when this kind of fear of abandonment is triggered. A narcissistic abuser can stalk you, they can show up at your workplace, they can go crazy. So if you're feeling unsafe or you don't have a good feeling, or your spouse has a history of becoming violent or going berserk, then you may need to get a restraining order when you leave. Women who have been in manipulative, abusive relationships are at much higher risk for being harmed or killed after their relationship. So after you leave, you want to make sure that you block contact from them, or maybe you have minimal contact with them. Make sure you have your own phone with a different phone number, and you change all of those things so the narcissist can't reach you. Block contact or have very minimal contact with the narcissist so that you can get healed, you can get stronger, and not get sucked back in or manipulated back into the relationship where the abuse could become far worse than it was before you left. I hope these tips were helpful. If you know someone who is thinking of leaving an abusive relationship, share this video with them. Now, on a different note, I have some news. I'm now opening the next cohort for my 12-week coaching program called Recovering Your Identity After a Narcissistic Relationship. It is scheduled to kick off in April. Registration will be on a first-come, first-served basis, so I encourage you to set up an appointment with me as soon as possible to see if you would be a good fit for the program, and I am offering a deal for it. And if the timetable is full, keep checking because I'm continuously updating with new open slots every week. So this program at the moment is for women, and I apologize to all you men. This does not negate that narcissistic abuse happens just as much with men as it does with women, and I also have a heart to serve you men also. So I'm starting a program with women, but God willing, I will have something for men in the future. So that being said, I'll share a little bit about the program for the women. It's a 12-week group coaching program with me in which you will enjoy a journey with me and about 12 other women to find healing, freedom, and confidence, to set healthy boundaries while keeping your peace, to recover your God-given identity, to align with God's vision for your life, and to move forward with your life. It also exists to connect you with other women who understand the isolation, the pain, the confusion, the manipulation, gaslighting, and much, much more. The program is for you if you are a woman who is preparing to leave or has already left a narcissistic relationship, or you have reduced your interactions with the narcissist to either low contact or no contact, and you're wanting to heal and reclaim your identity. You're weary of being isolated, feeling no one understands, and feeling like a shadow of your real self. The program is extremely enriching because you're not just learning from your own experiences, but from other people's experiences as well. So here are the major benefits of signing up for the program. You will have access to the learning materials, plus you will not only have my support, but also the support of other Christian women in the community. You have the benefit of access to me in a community of women who are followers of Jesus Christ, in a Facebook community where you can ask questions, share your stories and experiences, seek advice, and you get to participate in this program at a lower discounted rate from what I charge for one-on-one coaching. Right now I'm looking to do group coaching with a few groups of around 12 women starting in April 2023. So check the links below to see if there are spots available, as I will be offering the program on a first-come, first-served basis. If you don't see slots available, I encourage you to keep checking because I will be opening new slots every week. And if the program is closed by the time you're reading this, there should be a link in the description box below for you to be on the wait list, or there may be a new program starting. So do check in the description box, even if the time has run out by the time you watch this video. Maybe you have been suffering abuse with a narcissistic person, and right now you are feeling like enough is enough. You want to strengthen yourself, recover your identity, move forward with your life. If that is you and you feel you are a right fit to join my program, I'd love to chat with you. So please click on the link in the description box below to book a 15 to 20 minute call with me to see if you would be a right fit to join my program. So I look forward to speaking with you, and I also look forward to seeing you in the next video.